as you settle into this resting space, to connect into your breath. And just start to notice how your body softens and releases purely with breath. You don't even have to stretch anything or move anything. Just allowing your breath to travel through your body and notice the effect on your joints, your muscles, and even on your energy. And on your next breath, come all the way up onto all fours. And you're just going to place your hands once again in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. And I want you to take a moment to balance on the right hand and reach the left hand out to the side. Bring the hand underneath and coming into a thread the needle. So find a place where you can settle here. So if you need to put your cushion under your head, there's no right or wrong place for the hips or for the knees, by the way. And then would you like to straighten the right arm out, or maybe you'd like to place your hand into your lower back? Just take a moment, breathing into it. And notice how this twisting of the spine, the twisting of the rib cage also affects your breathing a little bit. Bring your right hand back to the floor. Come all the way up, reaching the left hand out to the side. Just take a moment here to balance. Now, see if you can pick up your right leg a little bit to the side, as if you're going to pee on a little baby fire hydrant, a little Lego hydrant. And you're just balancing, and can you notice the connection into your core? Feel the obliques. Bring your knee in, bring your hand in, and pause. Say to yourself, right hand reaches to the side, bringing your hand all the way through into a thread the needle. And once again, just settle into the place that feels good on this side. And then would you like to slide the left hand forward or maybe place it into your back? And at any point, if you feel that you can't breathe, you've probably gone too far. So then maybe just back off from the stretch for yourself a little bit. Few more moments, feeling that lovely rotation of the spine. And then placing your left hand to the floor, coming all the way up, and reach the right arm out to the side. Just pause for a moment and balance. And then the left leg does a tiny lift out towards the side. Holding it there. You're trying to keep the shoulders and the pelvis as level as possible, finding your balance. Bring the knee in, bring the hand in, and pause here for a moment. So now you're going to turn your hands to face backwards towards you. So I'm fairly flexible around my wrists. So I can bring my fingers all the way back. If you can only bring your hands partway, that's absolutely fine. And then some people are really flexible, and what you can do is just allow your hips to start moving forwards and backwards a little bit. So this is the carpal tunnel. And this is around the front side of the wrists. And especially for a lot of people that work on computers, you might find this tightening up. People who maybe canoe, kayak, mountain bike, basically they're gripping onto the handlebars or onto the oars, they might find that this tightens as well. And release back to the center. And then take your time as you turn your hands all the way around again. And now, tucking your toes under, start to walk your hands backwards towards your knees. Still keeping the hands nice and wide. Pull into the abdominals, round your spine a little bit like a cat, and then just push your knees up so you can rock back to your heels, and then lower your knees again. And again, push back, lower the heels, and release. And you may need to move your hand position. You can figure it out for yourself. And we're going to do just one more time. Press back, hold it here, and now lift your hips up. Keep your hands and feet where they are. Just lift your hips up as straight as you can go. Maybe your heels touch the floor. Maybe your legs are straight. None of it matters as long as it feels good. And then on your next breath, bend your knees to crouch all the way back down again. And then walk the hands forward and release the toes all the way back. So you're going to balance on your hands. Slide the right leg back so your tippy toes are on the floor. Level out the hips and shoulders. And then pick up your leg without letting the lower back collapse. Round your spine, draw knee to nose. Stretch your leg, long spine. One more like this, round the spine, knee to nose. And stretch back. Now this time, round the spine, but bring your knee to your right elbow. And stretch back. One more time. Round the spine, bring your knee to right elbow. And stretch back. Now this time, bring your knee diagonally across to the left elbow. And stretch back. One more time. And stretch back. Step your foot to the outside of your right hand. Now for anybody that's got knee issues, please give yourself some padding underneath the knees. Do you need a pillow there, Jules? Are you happy? Fantastic. So bringing your right hand up to the front knee, bringing the left hand up towards the ceiling, and just take a moment here to find your balance. Eye line up, belly's lifted, rooting into the front foot. The left hand comes down, breathe in. The hand comes up, breathe out. And again, inhale. Keeping a little bit of a tuck with the pelvis here so you feel that opening on the left hip flexor. Last two. Last one. Exhale, hold it here. Can you bring the right hand up to join it? Can you keep your balance here? And if it's available, look up, lift your chest up, and you're coming into a little bit of an extension of the spine. Such an amazing opening for the left front body. Take a breath in, and then exhale. Bring your eye line forward, right hand to right knee, and placing the left hand down to the ground. Let your hips maybe come a little bit more forward if it feels okay for you. Then use your right hand on your knee to start twisting to look over the right shoulder. So you're coming into a little bit of a spiral. Then you pick up your right hand and reach it up. You're trying to create a straight line from the right fingertips reaching up to the left hand pressing down. Taking one more breath in and out, and then release. Put both hands onto the mat and just stay here for a moment. Tuck your back toes under, and now pick up your back knee and push out through the heel and release the knee down. And again, press up and out through the heel. And by the way, if your hands aren't comfortable on the floor, if you feel that it's too much of a stretch, then why not come up onto the fingertips? There's nothing wrong with that. Or even put a pillow under your hands. One more time. And release. And now relax the foot out. Shift a little bit to the left so you can sweep the right leg back. Long stretch. And bring the knee all the way in. Just open your knees. Big toes touch. Sit back. And once again, just settle into the resting position. And between all the movements that we do, we just want to take an opportunity to pause and actually observe what is the effect that our movements are having on our body? What is the effect that our breath is having on our body? Just allow yourself to absorb it. Perhaps notice the difference right now between the right and left sides of your body. And then on your next breath, come all the way back up. Bringing yourself onto all fours. Your left leg slides back. Pick up the leg without collapsing the lower back. So you have to have quite a nice connection into the lower belly here. Round your spine and bring knee to nose. Stretch, lengthen away. And again, round the spine. And lengthen away. Now this time, left knee to left elbow. Round the spine. And stretch back. Round the spine. And stretch back. Diagonally across. Left knee to right elbow. And stretch back. And again, so you can feel this is quite tough because you're trying to get your leg under your body. Stretch back. Now step to the outside of your left hand. And then bring your left hand to left knee. Bring your right hand up. And remember, padding underneath the knee if you need it. So coming all the way up, that's it. So use your one hand on the knee just for a little bit of balance. So stay here for a moment. Rooting into the front foot. Energy through the fingertips. And let's move the arm. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And just a gentle rhythmic movement. So lovely for that fascial release. Finding a little bit of tensioning, and I don't know about you guys, but I feel quite a strong pull in my right hip flexor. One more. And reach up. Pause here. And if you can, balance. Bringing the left hand up to joy. And then maybe you can look up, lift your chest, and come into a gentle back extension. And if you're losing your balance, just bring your gaze back to the front. No big deal. Take one more breath in, and then release your gaze. Put your left hand to your left knee, and putting your right hand onto the ground, just in line with your front foot. Start twisting to look over the left shoulder. Maybe you can move your hips forward a little bit, figure it out what feels good. And then reach the left hand all the way up. And find the line. Where's the connection between your two hands? And feel the extension of the arms coming from your heart space. So coming from the center of your chest. Take a breath and release. Put both hands onto the mat now. Tuck the back toes under. And then lift the back knee. Maybe you can straighten the leg a little bit. And lower the knee down. And remember, if you need to come onto fingertips, that's perfect. Nice. Good. So, and then notice, how does it feel on this side in comparison to the first side? Is one side easier, maybe? One more time. Bring the knee down. Release the foot back. Move your hips a little bit to the right so you can swing the leg back. And bring the knee all the way in. Open the knees, big toes touch, sit back. And once again, coming into that resting space. And just giving yourself an opportunity to breathe. And then when you're ready, walk your hands backwards towards your knees. I'm going to turn to face you guys so you can see what I'm doing. And just let both your hips go over to your left-hand side. So I'll do mirror image. So your hips go to the left. So you're sitting on the left hip. Both your feet will be over towards the right. And then you're going to hold on to your ankle or your shin so that you feel that you're stable here. And just reach that left arm up. And start pulling yourself a little bit over towards the side. And then turn your head and look down to release the tension around the neck, around the levator scapular muscle. And then on your next breath, look to the front and come all the way up. Now put your left hand to the floor and bring that right hand up and over. You can bend the elbow if you want to. And then coming all the way back up. Now stay here, one hand is on the floor and the other hand is up. The elbows are straight. Turn the palm of the hand up and look up at your hand. Start moving your hand back as you open up the front arm line. And then round your spine and bringing your hands towards each other on the floor. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. And as you move your spine, notice how your rib cage moves with you. And as your rib cage moves, notice what your shoulder blades do on the back of your rib cage. When you bring your hands together, can you notice how the ribs open and the scapula glide wide? When you lift the arm, can you feel how the scapula squeeze together? Oh. And come back to the center. And come all the way back to the front and just pause here for a moment. Put your hands down and then swing your feet around so that you're sitting on your bum, but just see if you can balance here. Just balance, put your hands just lightly on your knees, tuck your chin in, and then see if you can close your eyes. And you almost want to feel that you are a little boat bobbing on the lake, bobbing on the sea, and you can feel the currents underneath your hips and underneath your pelvis. And you're just allowing yourself to move gently with the currents and with the waves. Your body's just responding as opposed to gripping or holding. And then open your eyes, blink gently, and now swing your legs over towards your left. So now you're going to be sitting on your right bum. Get your feet in a comfortable position, holding on to the shins. You're going to bring the right hand up, and now lean over towards the side. Getting a lovely stretch. Turn your head and look down. Releasing along the side of the neck, the levator scapula. Bring your eye line front. Come all the way up. Placing your right hand down, reaching over to the side, nice long stretch. And then come all the way back to the center so that both arms are straight. But your one hand, your right hand is on the floor, middle finger pointing away from you. Turn your head, look up. And now open your arm, reach back, and then round your spine and bringing your hand down towards the floor. And again, breathe in. So we're opening the front arm line. And exhale, releasing the back arm line. Use your breath. And you can switch the breath around, by the way. You don't have to do the breathing that I'm doing. I'm just kind of telling you what feels good for me. And one more time, feeling the ribs, feeling the scapula glide with you. And come all the way back to center. And then just placing the hands down. And again, pivot onto your sit bones, lifting your feet in the air. Lightly placing the hands, and then just round yourself into that little ball shape. And again, I invite you to close your eyes. And just notice that gentle response of your body to help you balance. And on your next breath, open eyes. And placing both feet to the ground. So I'm going to turn sideways so that I'm going to be sitting on my mat. And then you want to come to the front of your mat and having the knees and the feet slightly separated. Arms are going to be out in front of you. Take a nice easy breath. And then start rolling yourself back. And we're only going to do one, and we're traveling all the way down onto our backs. So take your time and consciously and deliberately place yourself to the ground. And at any point, if you get stuck, you use your hands to help you. And then just let your hands lift up towards the ceiling above you. Let your spine settle, and then walk your feet a little closer in towards your bum cheeks. Still have a little gap between the knees and a gap between the feet. So now we're going to do some arm scissors. Start taking one arm back and one arm forward. So as you scissor the arms, you are synchronizing the movement between the right and the left sides. Can you do this without actually letting your arms rest on the floor? So you have enough control around the shoulder socket that you can hover the arms. And just notice if one shoulder feels a little tighter than the other. Maybe there's a restriction on the one side. And oftentimes we might get a little bit of a shoulder injury and we don't realize that it's there until we do this movement. And let's just take two more. And bring both hands straight up to the sky. Interlock your fingers. Place your hands underneath your head. And then just rest back. And then just wiggle your ribs from side to side so that you're actually creating some space in your spine. Now, let your head rest. Bring your elbows up as if you're going to touch the elbows together in front of your face. So you're actually cradling your entire head with your hands. I want you to nod the chin. As you breathe out, lift your head and shoulders forward and pull your elbows forward towards your knees and thighs. And then release your head back and stay there. And again, curl forward. And you are pulling your elbows forward. You should feel quite a strong stretch along your back. And then release down, keeping the elbows close together. One more time. And we go curl forward. The elbows are drawing towards the knees. And then releasing all the way back. Stay there. And open your elbows until they are in your peripheral vision. Now, no more pulling with the elbows. The elbows stay wide. Nod your chin. Breathe out. Elbows are wide. Do you feel the difference? And releasing back. And again, using your breath to guide your movement. I really don't mind when you're breathing in or when you're breathing out, as long as it feels good for you. As long as you are in fact breathing, and as long as you can still feel a flattening sensation around the abdominals. Let's take two more. One more. And release it all the way down. Take your hands out and cup your hands over your two pelvic bones at the front here. All right. Now I want you to just take a few tilts of the hips. Just tilt the hips forward and back a few times. Feel how your lumbar spine moves with you. And then just let your pelvis settle in a happy place for you. But now you need to stabilize. I want you to pick up your right knee and hold it in the air. Were you able to do that without compensating through the lumbar spine and pelvis? Place that right foot down and nothing's allowed to move. Stabilize. See if you can pick up the left leg with the same control. Picking up the left knee, pelvic lumbar stability, and then placing that left foot down. Pick up your right leg, hold it in the air, and now straighten leg halfway, so it's not fully straight, and flex the top foot. So you've got energy pushing out through the heel. Find stability and start lowering your leg towards the ground without arching the lumbar spine.
Which leg?
The right leg, thanks. The right leg goes down, you've got it. And then pick up the right leg again without tucking the pelvis or compensating. Lower the right leg, always with control, and you're not actually letting the leg rest, it's hovering. And then pick up that leg again. No tucking. Beautiful. Keep going. We're going to do 3 more. And what you should be feeling here are the hip flexors on that right leg working. When you lower your leg, they're working eccentrically, they're lengthening. And when you lift your leg up, they're working concentrically, they're shortening. So this is very, very functional work for everyday movement. And we need to be able to do this without cheating in our lower back. This is one of the main reasons that a lot of people injure their lower backs. Bring the leg all the way up, hold it, point your toe, bend the knee, put your foot down with control, nothing's allowed to move. Take a moment to stabilize, pick up your left leg and hold it. Straighten your leg halfway, flex the top foot, energy through the heel, and again, your left leg hinges towards the ground, but don't let it rest. And then lift the leg up again. We lower. And we lift. Lower. Find the stability through the lumbar spine and pelvis. Keeping that control. Working the hip flexor eccentrically and concentrically. Last one. Looking really nice, guys. Lifting up. Point the toe, bend the knee, and place the foot all the way down. Nicely done. So just double check for yourself that you've got your knees and feet hip distance apart, that your feet are in line with each other. Arms down beside you, and now we're going to go up into a pelvic curl. Take a breath. Start by tilting the hips back a little bit, and then rolling up into your bridge position. So now you're getting a wonderful release for those hip flexor muscles that have just been working, and ripple down through the spine again. Imprint and release at the bottom. If your hamstrings are cramping, maybe you need to move your feet a little closer towards your pelvis. And again, tilting hips. Rolling up, lovely squeeze with the bottom cheeks. Get that stretch at the top. And then ripple down, soften from the throat, around the heart, the belly, and release. Just one more time, here we go. Tilting hips, roll up, hold it here now, anchor your arms into the floor, start standing on the right foot and pick up the left knee, hold it in the air, cross your left ankle over the right knee and let that knee roll out. And now ripple down through the spine, imprint, and release. Place your hands onto your pelvis again, onto the front of the hip bones. Firm up those abdominals, because now you're going to pick up your right leg, so your foot's going to come off the floor. And when you lift that foot up, can you feel that you come into a little bit of a gluteal stretch? And then let your right foot go back down to the mat. Do that again. Use your breath. And release. 3 more. And release. 2 more. Beautiful. Keeping that lower abdominal connection. Make sure that your lower back feels secure. Last one. Pick your leg up, hold it there, wrap your hand around your right thigh, and just draw it in so that you can relax into that stretch for a moment. And remember, if you need to put a cushion underneath your head or under your shoulders, that's absolutely fine, as long as you can find a little bit of ease through the back of the neck. Nice, easy breath in. And then let go, but keep your ankle crossed over the knee. Place your hands back to the pelvis, and you're going to lower that foot all the way back down. Bring both hands up to the ceiling above your chest. Open your arms wide. Hover your fingertips just off the ground, and then exhale as you bring the hands up and consciously connect each fingertip to its partner. Inhale, expand wide. Exhale. One more time. In. Exhale. Interlock the fingers and placing your hands underneath your head for support. Elbows just in your peripheral vision. Nod your chin. Breathe out as you come up into a little chest lift, and I just want you to hold it here for a moment. On your breath, rotate towards the left knee. Come back to the center, stay lifted. And again, rotate. And center. 3 more. Center. 2 more. Last one. Center, hold it. Lower head and shoulders. Bring your hands onto your pelvis. And you're going to uncross and placing that foot all the way down. Knees bent, arms beside you, pelvic curl. And we go, little tilt of the hips. Rolling up into the shoulder bridge. Pause at the top. And then ripple down through the spine, soften from the back of the throat and let that movement just ease your spine out. And taking 2 more. Feel that lovely work into the gluteus maximus as you come up. Roll down through the spine. Imprint and release. And just one more time, little tilt of the hips. And we're going to hold it here. Push your arms into the floor to help you balance. Stand on your left leg as you bring the right leg up. Cross your right ankle over the left knee. And then roll your spine down, imprint, and release. And put your hands onto your pelvis. Breathe out as you pick up the left foot now, bringing yourself into a little gluteal stretch, and release the foot down. And again, breathe. And release. So now you should be getting quite a nice stretch into that right gluteal. Last 2. And just one more time, lift up, hold it there, and then loop your hands around the left thigh. Holding onto that left thigh, drawing yourself into a little bit of a stretch. And remember, if you need to put any kind of support underneath your head, make sure that your neck and shoulders are comfortable. Taking one more breath, release that foot down, but keep the right ankle crossed over and both hands reach up. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, bring the hands up and connect the fingertips. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more. Interlock the fingers, hands behind the head. Make sure you've got your elbows lifted slightly. curl up into a chest lift and just stay there. Let's do a little twist towards the right. Center. And again. Lovely way to wake up those obliques. Last two. Keeping that precision and that focus. Come to center. Lower the head and shoulders. Uncross, and this time hug both knees in towards the chest. Maybe just rock your knees a little bit from side to side. If your neck is sore, maybe you just need to turn your head softly from side to side. And then bring yourself to center. Now, place your hands behind your knees. We're going to do a cross between rolling like a ball and a roll up. So you're going to let your thighs move away from your chest until your elbows are straight because you're holding on behind the knees. Lift your head and round your body forward. Pour your body weight into your feet and allow yourself to tip forward or not. Coming all the way forward, so you can rest your forehead towards your knees. I'm sure it was very graceful, right? Now, start rolling backwards, and you're going to be hanging off your legs. So you're now again, your elbows are straight, and start just lifting the feet a little bit, and pour your body weight back again. And your head settles. And you let your knees come towards your chest. And let's do that again. Bring your thighs away, curl the head forward, pour the body weight from one end of your body over to the other. And the trick is, the rounder that you get your spine, the easier that it is. And lean back. And pouring the body weight all the way to the other end. Hug your knees to your chest. And last one. Don't worry, that's just Janita laughing in the background. Look forward and breathe. Nice, Jules. Well done. And then just round yourself over for a moment. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch. Take a breath in. And then roll up into a seated position. Okay, so we haven't actually done my favorite stretch of all time in any of my classes yet. So I want you to roll onto your right side. We're going to do a little bit of a thoracic rotation now. So you're going to have both knees bent in front of you as if you're sitting in a chair. And you're going to lie down and actually just cradle the back of your neck and your head so that you feel fully supported. And then your left hand's going to come out in front of you. Start by lifting your hand up towards the ceiling and then just stay there for a moment. Look up towards your hand and just feel how your body is rolling back. Continue taking your arm back. Look at your hand. Let your heart and your chest open and let your hips, your knees, and your feet slide if that feels good for you. And we're just going to stay here for 3 breaths in and out. And you should be getting quite a lovely stretch along the shoulder, the chest. If you need to move your arm up or down a little bit to find the best stretch for you, then please do so. Stay with your breath. Taking one more inhale and exhale. Lifting your arm, rolling knees, hips, spine, chest, and arm all the way to the front. Nicely done. Press yourself up, and again, you're going to sit, and you are going to balance on your sit bones, hands onto the knees, closing eyes if that feels good for you, and just observing your body. And then open eyes, swing your legs over to the other side now. So now you're going to be lying on your left side. Cradle your head. Bring your knees up as if you're sitting in a chair. and your right arm goes forward. Lift your arm, look up, and now stay here for a moment. Start opening the arm, rolling your chest open. Let your hips and your knees slide if it feels good for you. And then move your arm up or down as much as you need to so that you have a stretch along the chest and along the shoulder as well.
I'll do your rock, right?
Yeah, perfect. Can you feel a stretch there? Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Stay for one more breath in and out. And then lifting the arm, let your knees, your hips, your spine, your chest, and your head roll all the way back. Wonderful. Turn onto your stomach. We're just going to finish with a little bit of back extension. So, turning over. Have your legs slightly apart. Place your hands in line with your shoulders and make sure that your elbows are on the floor. So in yoga, we poke the elbows up like this. In Pilates, we tend to have the elbows down. Hover the tip of your nose. Make sure that you can breathe. Start by lifting your eye line and come up into a little baby cobra and just pause there for a moment. And then release yourself down. And I want you to make this as easy as possible. Lifting up, think of opening the front of your heart and reaching your heart forward and releasing it down. Let's do one more like this. We're going to inhale to come up. And we're going to exhale, release down. Let's add a leg lift to that movement. We're going to inhale to lift up chest and legs. It doesn't have to be big. And then gently down you come. And we go. Inhale. Can you think about opening the front of your body and releasing down? One more time. Inhale. Open the front of your body. And exhale. Good. Now let's lift our arms at the same time. Inhale. Chest, legs, arms. And exhale, down we go. How easy can you make this? Let's make it effortless. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale and release. Poke your elbows up. Push onto your hands and onto your knees. And just come onto all fours for a moment. Just round your spine up towards the sky. Maybe you want to do a little bit of a wiggle of the hips, relaxing your head. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch after that extension. And then bring yourself back to a neutral position. Tuck your toes under. We're just going to do one transition into a downward facing dog or a pike position. Lifting the knees up, pressing back, and then maybe just pedal the heels down one at a time. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch. And then push both heels towards the ground. Start walking your feet halfway up your mat. Just halfway. Maybe your heels are down, maybe they aren't, it doesn't matter. And then go onto your fingertips and walk your fingertips back to your feet. Make sure that you're now standing evenly on your feet and then relax. Surrender into this position here. You should be hanging like a rag doll. Just shake your head. No, 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 no. Nod your head. Yes, 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 yes. Take a breath in. And exhale, unravel. Abdominals connecting. Think of rooting into the heels of the feet. Coming all the way up. Just take your time so you don't feel dizzy. And if you do feel dizzy, hold on to something. Roll the shoulders back and around a few times. And just allow yourself to relax. So I'm just going to turn so I can face towards the camera. Take a look down at your feet. Big toes level. Just pause for a moment. as you close your eyes. And we just finished today's class with the moment of just integrating and absorbing and appreciating everything that our bodies have done for us. Allow your eyes to relax. Notice the connections of your feet to the ground. Notice the connection of your head up towards the clouds. Take a moment to notice each inhale and each exhale. Take a big, deep breath in. Open your mouth and sigh. And just open your eyes, blink gently, bring yourself back into the space. Maybe give your hands and wrists a little shake, give your feet a little bit of a shake. Nicely done, Jules, all good. Thanks, guys. Everybody feel okay? I'm going to turn on the sound, so if you've got any questions, you can throw them at me. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. You're so welcome.
I'm going to pour us a drinky poo.
Fab. Wait.
Thank you very much, Renee.
You are so, guys, you are so welcome. Hey, it was lovely to have you guys in class. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you so much.
Renee.
Pleasure.
Bye.
We're back to normal time tomorrow at 11 o'clock.